During this presentation, we will be reviewing and analyzing the actions of France and Italy during World War II. Prior to beginning the war, France realized that Germany had the desire and potential to do great damage. However, they did not want to fight. They let Germany gain power without facing any resistance. Great Britain felt the same way about Germany's actions, but did not want to get involved either, and France wouldn't even consider involvement without the help of Great Britain. Soon there were rumors of Germany wanting to take over Poland. This led to Britain and France making an agreement with Poland to protect them in the event of an invasion. Eventually, Germany invaded Poland on September 1, 1939. France and Britain proposed an agreement with Germany, saying that they would not get involved as long as Germany pulled out of Poland. They did not listen, so France declared war on Germany on September 3, 1939. Their goal in doing so was to end Nazi aggression. Let's discuss some of the causes of France entering World War II. While devising the Treaty of Versailles conditions, France was out for revenge and wanted to be sure that Germany could not start another war in the future. Germany expected a treaty based on Wilson's 14 points, but was disappointed when they were forced to sign much harsher terms than they'd planned for. As Hitler gained more influence in Germany, Britain and France became concerned with the rise of communism. When Hitler began planning to take over Austria, the Austrian leader asked Britain, France, and Italy for aid. Hitler, however, assured them that this was the end of his expansionist actions. The other countries, therefore, did not take action. Hitler went against his word and proceeded to invade Czechoslovakia. Britain and France were not yet ready to fight, but agreed to take action if Poland was invaded. During the 1930s, Britain and France began to understand the Treaty of Versailles conditions were unfair. Therefore, Hitler's early actions were seen as justifiable. But as Hitler started taking more and more actions, they realized that they would have to do something soon. He was spiraling out of control. The Munich Agreement, signed by Germany, France, Britain, and Italy, stated that Sudetenland would be returned to Germany, and that no more territorial claims would be made against them. Hitler, however, broke the terms of this agreement when he invaded Czechoslovakia. In addition to the harsh Treaty of Versailles conditions and Hitler's rising power, the League of Nations also contributed to the cause of World War II. It was not taken seriously and held no authority over the countries. Not all countries joined, it had no army, and it was unable to act quickly. Therefore, it was unable to serve its purpose. One can see that France shared many of the same views as Great Britain in their reasoning of entering World War II. To put the caliber of this war in perspective, this chart shows the deaths of each country involved in the war. The Soviet Union suffered the most casualties. They were followed by Germany and then Japan. Now we will be discussing the involvement of Italy in World War II. Prior to the war beginning, fascism was largely present in Italy, as Mussolini had a large following. He eventually became dictator, and Italy became a totalitarian state devoted to expansion. It soon withdrew from the League of Nations and formed military alliance with Germany. When the defeat of France became apparent, Italy entered World War II on June 10th of 1940. Their goal in doing so was to aid Germany in destabilizing European order. However, throughout the duration of the war, Italy required much German assistance. In September, Italy surrendered to the Allies and declared war on Germany in October. We will now be discussing Italy's objectives during World War II. The Axis partners shared many of the following interests in World War II: expansion and foundation of empires. To achieve this, they had to destabilize European order. Another objective was the neutralization of Soviet communism. The Anti-Comintern Pact between Germany, Japan, and Italy, which was directed at the Soviet Union, helped towards this goal. One can see that Italy shared many of the same views as Germany. The Pact of Steel, signed by Germany and Italy, formalized the Axis alliance with military provisions. And the Tripartite Pact, signed by Germany, Italy, and Japan, formalized the Axis alliance. This next slide provides various diagrams and charts regarding World War II. The chart on the left illustrates the Allied strategy in Italy of January 1944. You can see that they come in from 3 different directions, making it quite difficult for Italy. The top right chart shows invasions made by Axis countries before the war even began. It shows that Germany conquered Czechoslovakia and South Czechoslovakia was awarded to Hungary. It also illustrates that Italy conquered Albania. The bottom right chart illustrates the military deaths of the Axis nations during World War II. One can see that Germany suffered the most deaths, followed by Japan, and then a tie with Italy, Romania, and Hungary, and then finally Bulgaria, who suffered the least amount of deaths. This, however, does not include the Allied nations. In the end, the Axis nations were defeated, and the Allied nations were victorious. There were no longer any severe threats in the disruption of international order. World War II is a significant historical event that will not be forgotten. Thank you for watching this presentation.